Nigeria, the same thing. You have Bola Tinubu, who is an old man who is not even, sometimes I wonder why. Is this a cost on Africa to always vote for old peoples who cannot even speak properly? Is this a cost on us? Do you know when someone is old, his brain look like a child? We don't know this. If you came to Europe here when you have 60 years, you can never be a leader in Europe. They will park you aside. Yeah, when you have 60 years, and Bola Tinubu is older than 60 years. Bola Tinubu is now going to 80. 80 years, if he didn't even have 80 years. How can Bola Tinubu rule that Nigeria? How do you expect Bola Tinubu is not even active? Someone who cannot even walk properly, cannot speak properly. His brain is now not even thinking like a man. His brain is thinking like a child. He has a child brain right now. How do you expect? When I watch Bola Tinubu, sometimes I pity Nigeria. I say, no. Is this true that this man is the president? Sometimes I drag with my brain that no, this man is not the president of Nigeria. Maybe it's just a news. It's just a fake news. But I don't believe this man is still the president of Nigeria. When you remove Buhari, who is old, who cannot even do nothing for himself, you go and put a man who is more older than Mohammed Buhari. And that made me pity. Do you think Bola Tinubu will make Nigeria to be free? It's not possible. Nigerian militaries, plan. Do something. You are the peoples who we are waiting for. Come on. You are the people who Nigeria have been suffering for so long in the hand of West. They have been pressing the neck of Nigeria. For Nigeria never to have a fresh air to breathe. It's a big pity. If the leader, come on, this leader is not a leader. I would not even say if the leader is not ready to comply, because Bola Tinubu can never comply. Nigeria didn't vote for Tinubu. I know, my brother. I know. But I'm speaking to Nigerian soldiers. How many Nigerian soldiers are dying in the hand of terrorists, in the hand of kidnappers? The kidnappers and the terrorists, they have more weapons than Nigerian soldiers. They have more dangerous weapons than Nigerian soldiers. Trust me. How many Nigerian soldiers are dying in that bush? Sometimes I was watching so many videos about Nigerian soldiers in conflict with a terrorist group. A terrorist group was killing more Nigerian soldiers. So Nigerian soldiers, you are losing your soul for no reason, and you can never win against those terrorist groups. Because those terrorist groups have been sponsored by the West with the most dangerous weapons that you people never seen in your life. You can never fight against the terrorist group. You are just killing yourself. Stop fighting against the terrorists. Fight against the leader that is there.
Over 300,000 of Nigerians are IDPs in Niger Republic from all of these conflicts. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, instead of starting a fresh war, we want you to close these wars. Boko Haram, 14 years. Banditry, 9 years. We want you to give marching orders to the military. We want this Boko Haram and banditry to end and end now. It can be done. We don't want it to be a forever war. Our societies have been devastated. Economies devastated. Our schools, hospitals, infrastructures devastated. You are starting another war and you expect us to support you? Why?
Okay.
We voted for you. That is we, not I. I didn't vote for you. Those that voted for you to bring peace to our land. We want you this year to bring an end to Boko Haram and banditry instead of opening another battle front in Niger Republic.
My country people, now welcome back again to Bod TV Bod, where we analyze all the trends where they happen. Right now, people don't they tell Tinubu say I beg the strength they want to go fight Niger, want to go command their military, reinstate the democracy back, make use that strength to deal with our Boko Haram and our band, make him bring peace back to Nigeria, because scarcity of food day to day, the price of goods they're very expensive today, all because of this bandit, all because of this Boko Haram, because they kill the people, they kill the farmers. These farmers now they go farm again. So making use that strength to deal with our nation. Make it not go they chook mad for waiting not consigner. Niger matter not consigner. Niger matter not consigner. Everybody they against Tinubu. In fact, as we they talk right now, nobody support them. Even your own Senate don't go against them. Everybody, pastors or Pikino, who they beleo, all don't they against Tinubu. He can't tie before. He wait a Tinubu or you hear Magnum, he don't turn to the world enemy because in they find alliance with France and with USA. Forgetting say these people, they are there to suck us. They are not there in our own interest. And that is why they are telling Tinubu over and over again that he should do the right thing. Tinubu, you not get strength, you not be Putin, and you can never be Putin. You not be Barack Obama because you not get the strength. We don't know what they play here. We don't know what the one they try to prove to us. I beg my people, wanna watch the video. This one a Bod TV, but wanna not forget, wanna sub, wanna like, and wanna share this video. Area, hello, woto one start now.
Ruben, for having me.
Okay, Prof, I read a piece you wrote. I think that was yesterday or 2 days ago, titled "War on Niger Republic Will Be War on Northern Nigeria." And in that piece, you expressed the same sentiments expressed by senators from those 7 states bordering Niger Republic in the northern part of Nigeria: Sokoto, Kebbi, Katsina, Zamfara, those 7 states. And they are saying a declaration of war in Niger against Niger would put those 7 states at risk. Nigeria, of course, sharing over 1,000 square meters, 1,000 square kilometers, about 999 miles of border with Niger. But why do you think an attack on Niger, in line with ECOWAS resolution, will amount to an attack on northern Nigeria? The territories are distinct.
Right. Right. I saw the piece before we started. I am really shocked. The primary responsibility of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is to Nigeria and not to ECOWAS. He answers to us. He's not even addressed Nigerians and justify what he's going to do. He's gone to the Senate to ask for approval. That's no way to declare war. It's not easy declaring war. You're sending your men and women into harm's way to go and get killed and kill. I've said it clearly from the outset of that piece I wrote. I am not into political correctness. We in the North, we are tired of wars. We have been at war for 13 years, for 14 years now with Boko Haram, since 2009, and 9 years with bandits and kidnappers. And you're bringing a fresh war to us? And we share with Niger Republic, long before the creation of these 2 entities, Niger and Nigeria, we have shared heritages in our culture, in our religion, in our languages. And we share a border over 1,000 kilometers from the northwesterly end in Kebbi to the northeasterly end in Borno. We have Zabarmas in Nigeria and Niger. We have Hausas. They are the predominant tribe in Niger, 53%. We have Fulanis. We have Kanuris. The whole of Difa region around the northeast of Nigeria, they are Kanuris. So we're going to war and killing them for what? Before any president goes to war, he comes and explains to his people, these are the reasons why I'm going to war. What are the strategic importance, economic, security, or political strategic importance of going to war? What are the self-interests of that country in going to war? The people who are going to war on their behalf, the Western world, France and the United States, they know what their interests are. Their strategic interest is not the people of Niger or Nigeria, but what is underneath the soil of Niger and Nigeria.
Prof, well, is this really about ethnic identity?
Go ahead.
Is this about ethnic identity? The president approached the Senate as stated in Section 5 of the Constitution, because the president of Nigeria cannot go to war without the approval of the National Assembly at a joint session. Or he may not he may just seek the consent of the National Defense Council and send troops on limited combat duty. But he was talking specifically about resolutions of ECOWAS. He's chairman of ECOWAS, and Nigeria is a signatory to the Constitutive Act of ECOWAS on coups and military interventions in the region.
Right. So he's sounding like he's answerable more to ECOWAS than to Nigerians. We in Nigeria, 78% of the landmass of Nigeria, 7 states and 19 states in this country are saying no to an unprovoked war with Niger. It's not ECOWAS. His primary responsibility is to Nigerians, not to ECOWAS. He's not convinced us why he should send boots to the ground in Niger Republic. And for goodness sake, where are you going to get the troops from? The Nigerian military is stretched all across, deployed all across the 36 states of this country. Where is he going to get the troops from? Is he going to pull troops from the northwest, or the northeast, or the southeast? The only place there is some leeway is the southwest. And that will be a small number of troops. And he should be very, very careful. That is what I wrote there. He's going to do the bidding of the Western world. The fight in Niger is not our fight. It is going to be a proxy war between Russia and NATO. And this is what concerns me the most. We have been surrounded by countries now where you're having this proxy war between these two countries. And we're going to do their bidding. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not even settled down. He doesn't even have his team and is declaring war without consulting the people, without the consent of the people.
Okay.
No, we say no to war and we're not going to support any war.
Okay, I get your point. You had a number of recommendations, one of which is that diplomacy should be the best option. Where that diplomacy, as ECOWAS chair, President Tinubu had liaised with President Patrice Talon of Republic of Benin. He was the first person to go there. President Idris Deby of Chad was also sent there. The chief of air staff of Nigeria and the former governor of Katsina State, Aminu Masari, and one other were also sent there. They didn't make progress. Only this week, General Abdul Salami Abubakar and the Sultan were also sent, as a delegation, as part of a delegation, to talk to the coup leaders. In fact, they were not even granted the audience. So that diplomatic option has been pursued. It has failed. Are you suggesting that if the other ECOWAS chiefs, ECOWAS presidents, now that their army chiefs have met, if they decide to go ahead, Nigeria should just pull out? How would that make us look?
No, I'm saying if they decide to go, that will be wrong decision. And if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu takes the decision as the chairman of ECOWAS to go to war, he's doing that on his own.
No, but I'm saying that it's not a unilateral decision.
No.
It's a group decision.
No. Nigeria is Nigeria. And he is governing 200 million people. We have to give him approval to do that, even if he's the chairman of ECOWAS. The president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is more relevant to us than being the chairman of ECOWAS. We that know are telling him things that his advisors will not tell him, that going to war, sending troops into Niger Republic will be a disaster, unprovoked. We have had our own share of military takeovers in Nigeria. Nobody sent troops to us. What of Mali? What of Guinea? What of Burkina Faso? What of that Chad? That was the place where the French president was there babysitting the current president. Nobody sent troops there. We need to be very, very careful. Is there an internal problem? And we should be able to help them. And the reason why we are saying negotiations do not help, at the very beginning, you are putting on the table the threat of violence, the threat of force, and you're asking the other party to listen to you. You have brought your last trump card at the very beginning. That's no way to do it. And it's showing the inexperience of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the international scene. He's not been properly advised. He does not have his team to advise him properly. You do not do that. Okay, let's say you roll in your tanks, if you have them, into Niger Republic. What do you do? What do you do? You install Bazoum by force and you stay there and keep him by force? We have seen the United States going to Iraq, going to Afghanistan, saying they are going to bring democracy. Where are they now? We need to be very, very, very careful. Military option is not the option. We have to. My recommendations are, first of all, take that threat of violence off the table, because that is what is making them more entrenched into their positions. That's why they refuse to see our elders. You are saying you're going to hit them and you're going to talk to them. Why are you here then? Take the threat of violence off the table. Start serious and sincere negotiation. And most importantly is, how are you going to help them solve this problem, which is an internal problem? By solving this problem is that, how are we going to do it? What is going to happen to Bazoum? The safety of Bazoum and his family must be paramount. What is going to happen after that? What do Nigerians want? Do we want this military for how long? How can we pressure, the ECOWAS and the international community, pressure the junta to have a timetable to transition to a democratic rule as soon as possible, without the threat of violence? And essentially, ECOWAS has declared war. They have closed borders. They have closed airspace. They have President Bola Ahmed Tinubu unilaterally broke the treaty between Nigeria and Niger that was signed in 1960, that Nigeria will be supplying Niger Republic with electricity. Nigeria currently supplied 70% of electricity to Niger Republic. In exchange, Niger Republic will not dam River Niger upstream. If they dam River Niger upstream, we'll all be dry. We won't have Kainji Dam. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu unilaterally, without reverting to the Congress, broke that treaty. Now the capital, Niamey, is in darkness. And you are saying we are going to... This is a country that has 40% of its budget is foreign aid. Biden sanctions, you close their borders, no-fly zone, you close, you cut electricity.
Well,
what is at stake is more than just what we see. Well, we don't understand. The president needs to be properly briefed. And he isn't. He doesn't look like he is.
Prof, well, except that in war, all is fair as in love. So if we cut off their electricity, it may not hurt us significantly. We get 85% of electricity supply in Nigeria from thermal stations. Igbin, Geregu, Afam, Omotosho, all those stations are thermal stations. Kanji, Shiruru, and Jeba are the ones that depend on hydro. So even if they dam, the River Niger, we'll still be fine, I guess, if we put our heads together. But you were saying that President Tinubu wants to go to war so as to give his government legitimacy. What is the connection?
Absolutely. Very important connections. So President Tinubu, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his election is contested, is still in court. He has legitimacy issues nationally and internationally. And for him now, he's the ECOWAS chairman. Of course, it gives him that chair, but still, the elephant in the room is the election is still contested in court. Well, if he does that, now the Western world are calling him. The other day, they say the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, called him to find out. Nigerians should ask, did Kamala Harris ever call when people are slaughtered anywhere in the North? Anywhere in the North? They care for us. Or Macron calls us, calls the president. They don't care for us. They don't care for Nigerians. They care for what is on the ground. And we need to be very, very careful. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu should be very careful and not drag Nigeria into this proxy war between NATO and the Soviet and Russia in Niger. And Wagner are coming to Niger, just like they are in Libya, in Sudan, in Mozambique, in Guinea, in Mali. And the moment they get into Niger, they are after resources. And the most important resource is uranium. Niger has the 7th largest deposit of uranium that France has been exploiting since independence. And see the penury, see the poverty in Niger. The second thing is we have this trans-Saharan pipeline that is built to be piped from Warri through Niger up to Algeria, to stop in Algeria and then go into Morocco and Tunisia to Europe. This is a very, very important pipeline for Europe and the United States as an alternative, because Russia during this Ukraine war is blocking supply of gas to them. So this is very, very important. The United States is there not for God, country, or the love of Nigeria or Niger. They are there because of the resources. France, we know France has been there. France has never loved democracy. We need to be very careful. At a time, and I wrote it in that letter, in that piece, at a time when African Francophone countries like Burkina Faso, like Mali, they are severing their ties with France. Our president Bola Ahmed Tinubu is being dragged into being their ally.
Prof.
They can never be good allies.
Prof, today is the deadline that ECOWAS has given, and you are saying forget about military intervention. Would this not amount to a loss of face, not just for Nigeria, but for all the other countries, considering the fact that our Chief of Defense Staff, General Musa, is even the chair of the ECOWAS chiefs, defense chiefs? How do we live with that? What will look like an embarrassment, or if you like, disgrace? Because the coup leaders in Niger, they've been snubbing Nigeria routinely.
No, Ruben, we have never had issues with Niger. During the civil war, Niger was a very important ally when Cote d'Ivoire and Gabon were against us, when France was against us. Niger has always been a steadfast ally of Nigeria. We've never had issues with them. We've never fought them. We go in there, we will see the father and mother of banditry and Boko Haram like we've never seen. Forget faces. It's not our ego or the face of the president or anybody. It's about Nigeria and about the lives we are going to commit to battle. This is the most important. This is not well thought through. This is misguided and will not be accepted by people, especially we here in the north that live in close proximity to this war. These are our flesh and blood. They are our people. They've done nothing to us. They are our allies. You go to Zamfara, you go to Katsina, you go to Niger, you go to Borno State. They have been helping villagers when bandits come. And over 300,000 of Nigerians are IDPs in Niger Republic from all of these conflicts. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, instead of starting a fresh war, we want you to close these wars. Boko Haram, 14 years. Banditry, 9 years. We want you to give marching orders to the military. We want this Boko Haram and banditry to end and end now. It can be done. We don't want it to be a forever war. Our societies have been devastated. Economies devastated. Our schools, hospitals, infrastructures devastated. You are starting another war and you expect us to support you? Why?
Okay.
We voted for you. That is we, not I. I didn't vote for you. Those that voted for you to bring peace to our land. We want you this year to bring an end to Boko Haram. We want you to close these wars. Boko Haram, 14 years. Banditry, 9 years. We want you to give marching orders to the military. We want this Boko Haram and banditry to end and end now. It can be done. We don't want it to be a forever war. Our societies have been devastated. Economies devastated. Our schools, hospitals, infrastructures devastated. You are starting another war and you expect us to support you? Why?
Okay.
We voted for you. That is we, not I. I didn't vote for you. Those that voted for you to bring peace to our land. We want you this year to bring an end to Boko Haram and banditry instead of opening another battle front in Niger Republic. That is your mandate from Nigerians, not ECOWAS.
Well, Prof, you've been talking about proxy war. Russia and NATO, you kept mentioning them. Well, France is also at the center of this. France, Germany, the US, they have military bases in Niger. And some people have been saying, why
Yes.
did they fold their
Yes.
arms and allow
Yes.
the coup to take place? That's one question. But specifically the role of France. You said France doesn't like democracy. Well, there has been a rebellion against France in Niger and also in Mali. The coup leaders in Mali have just decided to cancel about 11 agreements that they signed with France in 1961, including France having control over their external reserves and also, having the first right of refusal over mineral resources in the country. Is this the beginning of the end for France in West Africa, or it may not go that far?
We hope and pray it is. All these colonial powers should leave these colonies alone, should get out of their colonies. They've been exploiting their resources. Look at all the Francophone countries, very rich in natural resources, nothing to show. What are they doing there? What have they benefited from their being there? And France is now coming to tell us, oh, it loves democracy. And the United States, that it has no business being around here, has bases with over 1,000. We have about 1,100 soldiers there with drone base. They are watching over all the Sahel. They are saying they are after terrorists and Islamists. And France has troops there. They moved their troops that were kicked out of Mali into Niger. We are in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Niger Republic, that no war should come to them. We will be the ones who are going to suffer in northern Nigeria, and we are not going to give any support to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to commit our forces to this unguided and unjustified war. I cannot be any more clearer than this.
Okay. Let me go back to the Constitution. What if President Tinubu, backed by Nigeria's National Defense Council, decides to go ahead? What will be the implications? Because the Constitution's sub 5, section 5, says, notwithstanding the provisions of section 4 of this section, the President, in consultation with the National Defense Council, may deploy members of the armed forces of the Federation on a limited combat duty outside Nigeria if he is satisfied that the national security is under imminent threat or danger, provided that within 7 days he will now seek the consent of the Senate. So what if he goes ahead in a limited sense?
Right.
What
So
will be the implications?
Good. Good. One thing, Nigeria's national security is not threatened. It's not under threat. Neither the president nor his military chiefs have come and convinced Nigerians that our national security is under threat. It isn't. We see no reason. We see no evidence to show that. And National Defense Council, who are the constituents of that National Defense Council? Who? He does not even have his cabinet. What council is he talking about? The only council he has himself and his advisors and the service chiefs. The service chiefs are not, they are subordinate to political powers. And the president cannot make decisions alone like he's been making, even during the economy. You see all of this, the economy, he's doing all of this, the economic policies without assembling his own team. So he cannot do that, and he will not do that, and we will not allow him to do that. We will protest, we will not let him do that. We will mobilize people, all Nigerians of good faith, against this war. There's no reason to go to this war. He's not even talked to Nigerians to convince us why he should send our men and women into harm's way. And most importantly, we do not have the capacity to do that. This is the honest truth. The danger is that the United States or France or NATO will come and tell our military or our president, we are going to help you with logistics. This is what they did in Libya. They killed Gaddafi and then they ran and left. Look at Libya, where it is today. This is Iraq. Where are they today? This is Afghanistan. Where is it? Wherever they go, bad things happen.
Okay.
So, our president should not commit our military to this misguided war without talking to us Nigerians and convincing us. But I will tell him this for free, that his advisors will not tell him. We in the North, we will not support any form of aggression on Niger Republic. Unprovoked. We see no reason to do that. None at all. None.
Well,
we have enough problem. Mr. President and your military should look inward and take care of Boko Haram and banditry that have been plaguing us for the last 14 years. You cannot handle this ragtag bandits on motorcycle. You are pulling tanks and going there. This is your job. Do not leave these two wars as abandoned project and move to open another theater of war, which you will lose. You will lose. What is your exit strategy? What is your exit strategy? You go there, put Bazoum and live. Are you going to remain there forever to hold Bazoum?
Okay.
Come on.
Prof, it's interesting.
Common sense must come in here.
It is interesting to note that you are not alone.
Go ahead.
It's interesting to know that you are not alone. This position you hold. Chief Olabode George shares your view. Senator Shehu Sani said more or less the same thing. The Jamaatul Nasrul Islam also issued a statement to that effect. And of course, the lawmakers from those 7 states that I listed earlier on also share the same view.
This is Bod TV Bod. In case the first time you come here, please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more uploads.